Harmonic Bronze Spring Concert for 2022, Concert and Awards Ceremony.
It's reflective, and it's just the purpose is to express gratitude to the commitment students have made this year. So, the music is not supposed to be the focal point. We'll play a couple songs near the end, but the purpose of the event is to really just say thank you for the sacrifice that the students and the families have made this year. So, with that being said, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I never know what I'm going to do from year to year. So some years each group plays and then they get their appreciation honors afterwards. This time I think I'm going to do all the appreciation honors first and save the music for mostly at the end.
Oh, there's Eric.
Both in our school, our district, and our community that have come just to support you and what you stand for. So it's a real honor to have these people here with us tonight. If you're here, if you could stand so the audience could recognize you, we have our school superintendent, Dr. Eric Sahakian. Such a privilege to have you here, Dr. Sahakian, to support the students, especially since the students come from many of your school districts. We also have from the school board, Brianna Taxani and Chad Wadsworth. They're here today. I was told that Dr. Michael Murphy might be here, the principal of Vasquez High School. I've never met him. Is he here?
Not yet.
No. I couldn't recognize him if he was here. But I thought that was pretty neat that a lot of our students are high school students, so your high school principal might show up. We have the principal, of course, of High Desert School on double duty, a parent of 4 students, and a parent of the entire school at High Desert School. This is Michelle Van Orna. From the Active Women's Club, we have Mrs. Vicki Taylor. From the Acton Agua Dulce Arts Council, longtime friend, Miss Sharon Roberts. And according to Sharon, I didn't know Mrs. Hitzman. I would have added you to the list. I didn't know you were coming too, but Mrs. Linda Hitzman is also a distinguished member of that local arts council. It's so many years. From Tom Lackey's office, our assemblyman, we have a representative, Carl Basale. If you need to leave right away, you can do your presentations now, or if you want to wait to the end, I'd rather you give it with the senior awards. What would you like to do, sir? Carl?
I'll be here, so you're good to wait.
We're going to wait? It'd be an honor to have you wait. Thank you. Just don't let me forget. I don't know from Mike Garcia's, Congressman Mike Garcia, is Jacqueline Owens here? I would never met her. Okay. Well, she was on the guest list. And Senator Scott Wilk, we have Brandon Roque, I think is how you say it. He was also a former school board member, if not mistaken, and a former student here at our school. So this is like, did you go to Meadowlark as well?
Yep.
Wow, this is like 12 years.
All 12 years had you as a teacher, actually.
Wow. Well, welcome home. From the Acton Town Council and serving as parent of Nicholas, we have Mr. Tom Costa. Married to Mr. Tom Costa, mother of Nicholas Costa, and the reporter of all of the legacy going on in our town, Mrs. Tracy Costa. Some of you know that recently I took on a new job responsibility in the evenings, and I had an amazing, wonderful change in my life. The best thing that's ever happened in my life for years was I got recruited to teach the handbell ensemble at the Masters University. And that's like none of that would have been possible without the handbell family and friends that I have over there now. So in our audience today, we have the legendary former director of the Masters University Handbell Ensemble for 40 years, Ms. Claire Blackwell, and her husband Dave. I would have never been given the opportunity to teach that class without Claire's belief. She trusted me with her 40-year program, and it's changed my life. So for Claire, I am so happy that you're here, joining me at my Harmonic Bronze handbell family. And we're going to get Claire to play this evening. Also, for my college group, most of my students at university, but he comes after work to play with the class. And he's done this for many years. He's become a dear leader, friend, mentor, role model for me. He's just an amazing young man, Mr. Stephen Chandler. Please give up all the way back here. I don't know if he'll approve of me saying this, but if any of you are looking to hire someone with a business degree, I can totally, completely vouch for the integrity and work ethic of that young man. He is in a job that I don't think he's perfectly happy in, so if you would like to set up an interview, I can. Someone who also was going to come this evening, my dear student from China, Zalong Li, but he got really sick, so much so he can barely get out of bed. But he's here in spirit with us today. I want to make a couple thank yous publicly. Sometimes people think all of these awards and gifts come out of my pocket, and that's ideally I would love that to be true. But I get a lot of support and help, and one of the primary supporters for many, many years has been Mr. Todd and Mrs. Deanna Main. I know a lot of you know them personally, and you know what generous, giving people these people are. Even as their children have grown out of the program and gone on to college, they are still helping us fund our end of the year gifts and awards. So if you ever run into them in town, please express your gratitude to them, because that's an amazing act of generosity. Pedro and Jeannie Flores, who are here, for the last 2 years have funded the Build-A-Bear gift. And I don't know how they do that, but they just came and they kept giving me gift cards. Here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. I don't think she realized how many gift cards they were giving me, but it was enough to cover like 2.5 years. So thank you, Pedro and Jeannie, if you're here. Another huge financial supporter for many, many years is the Active Women's Club. They have been affectionately nicknamed as our local guardian angels. They always, I don't ever expect to get any financial support from them, but whenever it's on their heart and their mind, there in my box is another amazing donation to this diligent community servants of women. And I want them to know that you are, for like, I would say over 25 years, you have been our guardian angels. So thank you, Vicki, for continuing all you do, not only for us, but for all the youth and the community as well. It's like you're the icon here. We wouldn't have a program without the Agdal State Unified School District and the school board members, and the superintendent, and the principals. If we didn't have a room to practice in, we couldn't practice. Anytime we have a transportation need, they never hesitate to budget it, whether it's $5,000, $10,000. When we go on tour, they funded that whole tour for us for 2 or 3 years. And it's just, I don't take those kind of things for granted. Those are things that are easily cut from a budget. So I thank our school district, and I would like you to thank our school district for supporting the arts. The first group of awards I'd like to recognize are what I call my group helpers. You're gonna get really tired of me talking today, I'm sorry, but this is my night, and I want to talk, and I want to share stories. Please don't look at your watch if you have to go somewhere. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a while. But I have 6 students. Well, 5 students plus 1 at the last minute. 5 students who not only budget into their own schedule to attend a regular class, but who find the time to come to a second class to help me with a group that's younger than them. And I want these 5 people to really stand out this evening. So when I call your name, I have a light that I'd like you to wear so that the audience knows that you are incredibly dedicated, and I cannot teach my classes without these helpers. First one, Miss Victoria Hagu. Miss Hannah Whitmire. Thank you. It's cold, it's been in the refrigerator. So Hannah and Victoria help me with the beginning group, the Monday group. Miss Amanda May Ames helps me with the Tuesday group, the intermediate group. Miss Susie Ames helps me with the Friday group. Mrs. Susie Ames, there you go. Thank you, Susie. When you hit past the 7th year, you get the official title of director. So Director Braden Flores helps me with the Friday group. And Director Carl Foster has been a helper for eons. He's a legend within the group, and we'll hear more from Carl later on. But he graduated from college, which he'll share with us, and he came back and he started helping me, both in my college group and this group. So I wanted to recognize Mr. Carl Foster. You can say after Carl. So, there's a lot of you that might know Carl, a lot of you who don't know Carl, but Carl has a really inspirational story to share. To give you a little bit of background, Carl's one of the legendary, iconic players that I've had that hit that 10-year mark. So he played from 6th grade to 12th grade, and then a couple years into high school. So he hit that 10-year iconic mark. There's only a couple students who have done it. One of them is also in the audience, Briley Flores. Why don't you stand up, Briley? Those two are legends in the bingo world in our school here because of what their level of commitment was and continues to be even now. There's no finer player than Carl. And Briley, of course. Carl went off to college, which he'll share with you, and then his life took another turn.
Hello, yeah, my name's Carl. For those of you who don't know, a couple years ago, I was in what I normally call a really gnarly motorcycle accident. Happened here on Soledad Canyon. I was just going out for a run, and then as I was going to return, someone from oncoming came into my lane and hit me head on. As you can imagine, 2 vehicles hitting each other head on at 50 miles an hour causes a lot of damage. So my bike was totaled, I was nearly totaled, I disabled their car. But thankfully, a couple of witnesses got me some medical attention. I was airlifted to Antelope Valley Hospital. They slapped me back together, and I spent a little over a month in hospitals recovering. But the whole time, I was determined to just not let all the work I put in my education go to waste. So even in the hospital, I was emailing my professors and like the people I had an internship with, like, hey, I got hurt, but I'm gonna be fine in like a couple months. Just like let me recover and I'll get back with you. And as of March, I have officially completed my bachelor's degree in business, concentrating in accounting from Cal Poly San Francisco. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, the people that hit me, they didn't have insurance. But thankfully, due to many of you and huge community support and a GoFundMe orchestrated by my general manager for my old job of all people, we were able to handle everything else with us. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you, even if emotional support, like everything helped me get through that. So thank all of you. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. My list of injuries was excessive. I broke 7 bones, including my neck, and ruptured a few organs. My lungs collapsed, and I tore a nerve. So this arm is paralyzed and will likely remain that way permanently. It's been a challenge to relearn how to do all the things I used to love to do. But I've never been one to shy away from a challenge, so I found some pleasure in it, even trying to okay, I can't tie my shoes, but I can do X, Y, and Z, and I even picked up the guitar recently, and I'm just trying to play it that way. So, yeah, if I can offer you any bit of advice, I would say appreciate everything you have in this life, because in less than a second, it can all be taken away. So, I'm here, and thank you.
Two arms, one arm, you're still the legendary Carl Foster, best handball player in Harmonic. So last year when COVID hit, a lot of our concerts and traditions kind of got canceled. And I felt really bad. I did what I could to continue the things, but there were some things that just didn't happen, that should have happened. So students who have gotten my very special honor, the Musician of the Year Award, normally I'm not supposed to give it to them. It's supposed to be given by another student who has earned the award. So I'm having to give it to them in a parking lot. It was really a sad moment. We go back in time 3 years ago. So I asked them to bring their plaque back so we can do it all the right way. So back in 2020, Brooke Dawson was one of my Musicians of the Year awards, and she was given this award for a couple reasons. Number one, she's a phenomenal skilled player. She sight reads like no one other. Most students, when they help me, they play down a group, but she often helps me by playing up a group. So her skill level is so good, and I'm looking so forward to having her really challenge herself to the next level of playing. She also helped me with my adult group. So every now and then I start up an adult group, and she would come to practice with her mom, and she would help me with that as well. So Brooke, I would like your award to be given to you by your good friend and your brother, Brett Dawson. She also would help me with the beginning group that year, if I remember correctly, and she helped me with the adult group. So she was and on top of her good grades, her busy schedule, her dancing, her nutcracker, her AV ballet, just you name it, dance team, she does everything. And yet she still made time to commit to playing with us and helping the rest of the group. The sad thing too is during this time, her father was battling cancer, and I think music and dance was a nice escape for her. And I think it gave her kind of a calming presence to see her father, deteriorating. There's nothing you can do to help, but at least you can sing for him, you can dance for him, and you can play for him. And I really wish your dad was here. And he is here in spirit, but I wish he could celebrate your honor, because he and I were in high school band together. That's how far back Mr. Bruce and I go. So, and Bruce, I would like your award to be given to you by another fellow dancer, Mackenzie Dennell. Earned this Musician of the Year award back this year. So those of you who know our Dorothy Chandler performance, one of the requirements is when we play on TV, they want the cameras to be able to go in and out of the rows, which means separating us super far apart. So imagine taking the back row and the front row and putting a mile between us. It's super scary to play because you can't even hear the people in front of you, and they're televising it in a live audience on TV, but hundreds of people in the audience, thousands of people in the audience. It's terrifying. And every time we try to get closer together, they push us farther apart so that the cameraman can go through. So we started getting creative and started adding percussive instruments. And I needed someone who could keep the beat for us since we couldn't hear each other. Out of everybody that I could think of, my little sixth grader, Ryan Ames, I knew would take the job so to heart that he would practice it endlessly and he would lead the group to success. So here you have all these seniors, juniors, freshmen, all these high school students and myself depending on a little sixth grader in front of the worst high pressure moment of our performance history. And Ryan rose to the challenge like a champion. So Ryan, I would like your award to be given to you by another phenomenal player, Mr. Zachary Levin. COVID has taken a hard hit on the group. People are dropping out left and right. Commitment is kind of waning. It's scaring me. I have to be honest with you. I'm really scared about the future of the program. At the time, the parent group was playing, and Susie Ames discovered that she's a really good handball player. And I said, Susie, why are you sitting in the car when your kids are at practice? Come and join us. So she started coming into practice. Before we know it, she's memorizing her music, showing up on Sunday morning practices, and playing with the Friday group. And it was amazing. She's like having another adult leader in the room. And she's an amazing player, an amazing woman. And the greatest thing about Susie is I never have to worry about cheerleading, scheduled conflict, soccer practice, football conflict, baseball, what else? Volleyball, track and field. She's not on any of those varsity teams, though she probably could. She's always there, and it makes it so nice. So Susie, thank you for helping me with the Friday group these last couple of years. I would like Amanda to give it to you, your daughter. For this year, I have two I'd like to say. The first one, she's probably surprised that I would want to single her out, but she's been amazing. I can't say that there is no one in the group that's gone out there trying to recruit new members than she has. She has brought in so many new members. Not all of them have stuck around. I think they get intimidated when they can't read the music, but boy, bless her heart, she's out there asking all of her friends to join the group and give it a try. She also, in the middle of the year, started helping me with the Monday group, and in that process, her confidence soared, and she became this really strong technical player. So I would like this year's Musician of the Year award to go to Miss Hannah Whitmire. Ralph Flores, will you give it to her? You've been an amazing helper all these years, just like Hannah. You're welcome. Please cherish it. Don't put it in the trash. I don't give that many out. The second one, I clicked the slide too early, Alex. You're not supposed to see her name yet. So this young lady, I get such a kick out of watching her play. I love finding out how many bells can I give her on the next song. 8, not enough. 12, not enough. One part, she wants to play 2 stands. There's never enough notes that she wants to not try to cover. She is so fun to watch, and I just love having her expertise as a musician in the group. Miss Alex Coombs. Brett, will you give this to your friend as well? One of them we started a while back, it's called the Family of the Year Award. Again, there's no criteria to get it. All of you are amazing families. You all deserve it, but this is my choice. And 2 years ago, I decided I wanted to give it to this family for a couple of reasons. They're like the paper Santa Claus to me. Whenever I need paper, there it is. it's the crazy. It's like she can read my mind. She knows exactly when I need paper, and it always shows up. She's always there to help load and unload. She's shared all of her children with me, from Riley to Brielle to Brayden. I mean, it's just a lot of commitment from the family. So they got this bell with their family name engraved on it, but again, I had to give it to them in the parking lot. So, I don't know, Mr. and Mrs. Flores here? Normally, Mrs. Flores, I'm not even supposed to give it to you, but we're all graduating, so you're gonna have to get it to me. For this year, again, you all deserve it, but I picked this family for my choice for Family of the Year. Their name exemplifies commitment, dedication, reliability, responsibility, respect, maturity. Everybody who knows this family knows that they are the epitome of, like, they inspire us. They inspired us all to be better people. So, AIM family, please come up and get well, a pretty recent award. It's called the Anchor Award. The anchor in music and handbells is like the low bell, stand number 25. So normally it's this kind of special position where you kind of become a mind reader as we play music. You read my mind. You're constantly aware of where we are in the music, and you know that it's your responsibility to keep the group afloat. You don't always have the most notes, you don't always have the most exciting part, but you will have the most important part to keeping us together, keeping us afloat. And some students just really love that responsibility. My anchor this year, of course, is always there by my side. They become almost like this assistant director figure to me, where they're constantly checking to see if I need any help. They'll never let me do things alone. So it's kind of a big responsibility. We usually don't give it publicly. It's this little anchor that one anchor passes it down to another. So the last year's anchor went to Brayden Flores. If you want to come on up here, Brayden. Brayden is such a man of tradition and symbolism. He went out, he's the first anchor that went out and bought his own anchor. And did you talk to the person yet? So this is the first time we're actually going to do it publicly, because normally if you ask someone and they don't want the position, that's okay. You don't want to give it to them. So Brayden will tell you his choice and why.
This year I chose Adam because he's very consistent about being in practice. I end up myself sometimes relying on him during practice as well and during concerts. He always knows where he is. He always plays his part very, very, very nicely. Adam, could you please pop?
That is his spot. He won't leave it. Unfortunately, Adam, you're going to have to move down to 25 now and then. So go give it a try. And not for everything, but just for the important ones. That way you can make eye contact with all of me and the group. Okay. I think that's a great choice. Brayden also, as an anchor, came up with a new award, which I love, new tradition. It's called the Compass Award. He's going to explain the criteria for the Compass Award.
Decided that it's an award for someone who acts as sort of a leader of the group, someone who's willingly able to take on challenges, to not only overcome those challenges, but also to overcome any hurdles or unforeseen obstacles in the way. They act as sort of a mentor to other people as well, and
so I told him, you can come up with the criteria, but I want to get the name. Because when he said it, I didn't even hesitate. I knew exactly who I wanted to give it to. It was like there wasn't even a second runner-up close. As soon as he described what he wanted to do, in my mind I'm going, I know who it is, I know who it is. This is his award. And he has been waiting and maturing to such an amazing level of leadership because he leads by silent example. He leads by the way he lives his life and the way he functions in class. He doesn't lead by his voice. So, you know what, Mr. Dylan Anderson, I tease you a lot, but you are the Compass Award winner, our very first one. See, there's so many awards we haven't gotten to the year ones yet. You gotta relax, man. Just relax. So a couple of years ago, I started something called the Handball Merit Challenges. They didn't take off the way I thought they would because then COVID hit. But I'm hoping that some of you will be inspired to tackle it, since some of you have done it. I came up with 7 challenges. One of them, they're based like on all different aspects of school life. So I don't know if you can read it, but this one's called the Expert Low Bell Challenge Merit. And they have 3 or 4 tasks that you have to complete to get this particular challenge. And we have these giant posters in the practice room. They see them every time they walk in the room. And I was hoping names would be covering them, but it remained empty for a long part of the year. So now Mrs. Dawson, I have to admit, she started off proving she can do the 50 push-ups because she sent me a video that Mrs. Dawson can do 50 push-ups. So surely somebody else in the group can match Mrs. Dawson. I also have the Expert High Belt Challenge, and as you can see, nobody went after that one either. It's kind of heartbreaking. Maybe next year. We do have 2 people who did the Scholar Musician Challenge. So the requirement was you had to earn an A in each of your classes for at least 1 semester, and at the end of the first semester, you bring me your report card, or you can send me an Aries printout sheet. You also had to compose some type of essay, poem, or journal on the topic music inspired. And as a scholar, you need to pass a music theory basic exam on treble and bass clef notes. So Amanda and Ryan both completed those tasks this year. So Amanda, if you could come up first, I'd love for you to read your poem to the audience.
Music inspires, its joyous call reflects the wonder found in all. It rings, it sings, it rises, swells, on keys, on strings, on brightest bells. It floats like petals on the breeze to brighten minds and graceful ease. A note rings out, the crowd is hushed. A melody takes shape, not rushed. Bold new tones lift off and soar, a lion's courage conveyed through chords. Now murmuring harmonies sweet and deep, cause even heartless souls to weep. With memories of days gone by, of wishes, dreams let go with sighs, of imagination long forsaken, a child's wishes reawakened, brought to life and hope once more, brilliance, radiance restored. Music sung from depths of the heart, new stories here will find their start, powered by this field of ages, from records, instruments, or stages. Feelings and notions so newly inquired, wonders awaking that music inspired.
Wow. Our Handball Bronze is not just about music. If you haven't figured that out, it's all about so many things beyond the music. Ryan Ames, would you come up and share your poem with the audience?
Music inspires. Through the dark deep within and the bleak passageways of life, there exists a savior, a peace, of which is named music. A force that drives, devours, is neutralized with the harmony of music. A chain that holds on and confines the mind is no match for the melody that inspires all to be the best they can. Music inspires.
These should be published.
They're
so published. Small award to represent. Your name will be on our board forever. Just so you know. As a scholar, you go out reading books. So. You're welcome. did not have anyone do the service musician challenge, which I really was hoping somebody would do because it has a lot of things that I think are important, like random acts of kindness. So maybe next year. We had two families go after the Family Musicians Challenge. So what this was, it says, you always hear me say that assembling the handbells on the table for each song is like a jigsaw puzzle. Well, that is your first challenge. As a family team, you'll need to complete a 1,000-piece or larger jigsaw puzzle. You have an entire year to complete the task. Take a photograph and complete it, please. So both of these families did that, and they sent me a photograph of the jigsaw puzzle. Your second family challenge is to attend some type of musical concert together, of any genre, not including Harmonic Bronze. Give me a photograph, ticket stub, program as evidence that you went. And they both did that. Your third family challenge is to invite another handbell family over to your house for dinner. But you have to have the students prepare the meal and clean up the dishes. Send me a photograph as proof. That one actually invited me to the meal for both of them, so I actually saw that. Finally, your fourth family challenge is to create a family photograph incorporating our handbells. We'll display in our rehearsal room. So the Dawson family asked if they could take the handbells to river rafting. I was a little hesitant. Waters and handbells don't mix very well. So instead, they came to the classroom, photographed the bells, made three-dimensional foam handbells, took this massive family reunion out on a water raft trip, all holding handbells that looked, I swear, just like real handbells. And the Ames family came to school and took a family with father having the biggest bell and so forth, down to Ryan, the smallest bell, right here at our school. So for you two, I have a new puzzle for you. There's only 500 pieces. If you can come up and accept your award. I have a puzzle already put together, so you have to be honest and take it apart. I think it's a music puzzle, but it came all together. You have to take it apart. Thank you. We also had the Math Musicians Challenge Merit. For this one, it's a little more involved. I gave the students a piece of music and they had to write down all the mathematical counts for the song. You know, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 hyphens and so forth. They didn't have to do it perfectly, but they had to do it to show that they understand the mathematical part of music. They also had to create their own musical composition. It doesn't have to be sound good, it doesn't have to be playable, but they had to sit down and give it a try. And I gave them a song where they had to go through and circle all the notes. So this was a fairly well-earned award. And some of you who know math see that little formula there, you know exactly what that is. But Amanda and Ryan, if you could come up, here is the song that Amanda wrote called Something, and here's a copy of the song that Ryan wrote called Exuberant. I found you a keyboard calculator to go with your award, Amanda and Ryan. Come on. It looks cool. I hope it works. Nobody did the icon challenge. That's the way you get the icon is you have to get all the other six. For our first song, I've been talking for a while. I'm going to start a new tradition called the Alumni All-Star Group. We're going to call some people up to play a song that they've never played or tried before. It's going to give me the opportunity to mix my players around. In sports, you have the All-Star team. Lots of people qualify for it, but not everyone gets picked. So I don't want anybody sitting in the audience going, why did he pick me? Does he think I'm a good player? Yes, I think you're a great player. But I don't have enough spots for everyone. So I picked who I wanted to pick. Don't overthink it. There's different reasons why I picked different people, and I will have to make adjustments if there are any alumni in the group. Like I didn't know Bradley was coming. Bradley, come on up. Will you tell us what's going on? Tell everyone what you've been doing since you've left.
Yeah, hi. It's been, I think it was when COVID hit that I stopped seeing you.
I know.
Well, since then I've been going to UCLA, and that's been taking up quite a lot of time. And studying political science, graduating this year, and hopefully going to pursue a career in law.
Is there any other alumni in the audience that I didn't catch? She's the only one that I saw come in for sure. Okay, so here's my picks. For stand number 1, Ms. Alice Good, come on up. Claim your spot. Stand number 2, Ms. Maylita Bruce, claim your spot. Stand number 3, me. Ms. Maylita. Stand number 4, Mackenzie Van Orna, come on up. Stand number 5, Zachary. Brett Dawson, come on up. Stand number 10, Ashley Hinkle, come on up. Sorry, without the glasses, you're standing right. Stand number 9, Brooke Dawson, come on up. There you go, Ashley. Gave you the wrong stand. Come. Stand number 10, Mr. Dylan Anderson. Stand number 11, Megan Fox. I'm going to appreciate everybody. Please don't call me yes. I'm going to call you. Oh, that's the wrong one, Megan. Stand number 12, Haley Heineke. Come on up. We're in off ball today. Stand number 13, Atuza Makamon. Come on up. Stand number 14, Lexi Van Orna. Come on up. Get to stand. Stand number 15, Riel Flores. Come on up. Stand number 16, where some of you will get replaced because Briley's here. I'm so sorry. Let me see who won't mind. Oh, what do I do? How you feeling, Vincent? Play or not play? Did I get it right? Sorry, Susie. Sorry, Susie. This is gonna take your spot, okay?
Okay.
You're gonna take Susie's spot.
Thank you, Susie.
Stand number 17. Here you go, Vincent. You like the low bells. Make sure you go to the right stand right in the corner. Stand number 17, Emily Goldner. Stand 19, Ryan Ames. Stand 20, Gus Hobble. Stand 21, Stephen Chandler. Stand 22, Claire Blackwell. Come on up. 23, Carl Foster. Stand 24, Nicholas Costin. And stand 25, of course, Raymond Flores.
There we go.
Power through the melody line in the bass clef with the big strong chords. Flip the page, it does that for a while, 37 bass clef notes, that's where I'm really worried about you, Vincent. Double bell. Yeah, your double bells, good. That means someone's covering your note if you miss it. But that's where your part gets hard. So 37, bass clef takes over this fast running eighth note pattern. Count carefully. High bells take over the melody. Bass clef, let vibrate, don't worry about damping. You should be able to measure. We're going to play the first couple lines really slow to give them a feel for their notes. Make sure I put the right bells out for you. Check your hands. I didn't do it on purpose if I set you up for failure. But let's just play it really slow so you get a feel for the sound. Up. Really slowly. 1 and 2 and ready and play. And 1 and 2 and 3 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 and stop. Okay, that's all you get. Okay? You okay over there? Up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 5 and 2 and 3 and 6 and 2 and 3, 7 and 2 and 3 and 8 and 2 and 3, 9 and 2 and 3 and 10 and 2 and 3, 11 and 2 and 3 and 12 and 2 and 3 and 13 and 2 and 3, 14 and 2 and 3 and 15 and 2 and 3, 16 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 22, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 26, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 32, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 33, 2 and 3, 36, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 2 and 3 and 1 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 and 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 49 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 58, 2 and 3 and 1 and 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 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 75, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 80, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 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 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 9, 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1. Never played it before? That's pretty good. Before we put it away, let's just try from the malice section, now that you got a feel for it. 60. I'll measure 60, now that you kind of got the hang of it. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and ready and play. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 76, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 81 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 1 and 2, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 99 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. That's better. Yes, and a certificate. So for the first year, they get a certificate with a medal with their name engraved on the back. So I'm going to call these students up. If you can go to the right-hand side, and one of the seniors will present it to you. First, we have first-year player Heather Brand. Come on up. Valeria Gonzalez, come on up. Stephen Helton. Hannah Herdosia. Atusa Nakamon. Vincent Ortiz. Jacqueline Pacheco Vera. Cole Steve. Alexis Van Orman. Riley Wagner. Haley Haneke. And Roy Pineda. So COVID kind of made it tricky to keep track of what to present each student with. And I didn't want them to miss a year, especially if it was something that they were looking forward to getting. So you'll notice that everything's kind of like a hyphenated. It's really their second year, but they might have really only been playing their first year. So it got really complicated. If I did it wrong, students, I apologize. Let me know, and I'll fix it for you. So we have one student in this category. She played with the adult group as a college student, and I thought, you know what? You're such a good player. Why don't you come join the Friday group? And she did. So we have a first, second year player named Anna Bruce. You get your travel backpack, your pen. I think that's what's up there. Yeah, a little confused. But thank you so much for playing with us, and I hope you can continue your schedule out, because you are an amazing player. And we have our second, third year members. Which again, these are people that are actually on their third year, but they skipped their second year. So, correct me if I'm wrong, you should get your backpack, you should get a plaque, and your official box of ding-dongs, and a pen. The pen often people wear on their tie, trouble club pen. Or they put it on their backpack. So in this group, we have Brooke Dawson, Lena Scott, Victoria Hickory, to catch you up on all of them. I don't think you did. My records are so confused because of that missed year. So I tried to catch you up. Alejandro Herdosha. Joaquin Ramsey. And Zachary Van Orno. And Susie Ames. I think I'm wrong, Susie, but you already have your backpack, right? Okay, so that's what you did. My records are so confusing. I'll catch you up on your plaque and ding-dongs if you didn't get it, because I know the ding-dong's probably what you care about the most. But finding 15 boxes of ding-dongs was no easy task. So, I hope you will enjoy your box of ding-dongs. You also get a framed photograph that my sister took that's kind of used on all our publicity brochures to hang in your room to just kind of remember your years as a handball guy. In this group, we have Ryan Ames, Adam Kuhn, Adam, you're the one I'm most confused about what I've given you, so I'll get you to sit down with me. So you started at a really unusual time. Alex Kuhn, Andrew McLeod, Leilani McLeod, and Aleko Zorba. The next group, if you can head on to the other side and make it a little easier for the senior, if you head to the side where the boxes are. So the 4th and 5th year members, the tradition is they get this really beautiful wooden box that says Assistant Director. Because if you're sticking around for this long, you're probably committed right to the end. And I want you to know that your leadership is valued. Everyone uses the title differently. Some use it for scholarship applications. Some use it to demonstrate their commitment. Others take it really by decision within the group. So you also get a keychain because this is when you start getting your driver's license. Brett Dawson. John Pond. Trail Florence. Zachary Levin. Mackenzie Van Ornum. The 5th, 6th year members, where it gets even more confusing. You'll see these piggy banks over here. So we try to represent that this is the year you start applying for colleges. You should have money saved for your college future, whatever you decide to do in the future. It's kind of my scholarship year. So the tradition is, at the end of the concert, these 7 people will be sitting on their stool with their piggy bank, and all the handball students will make a line around the gym. And there's 2 containers of pennies. And you take a grab, a couple pennies, and you gotta make sure you hit all the way to Jacob. Don't leave poor Jacob out of it, just because Dylan is here at the front alphabetically. Make sure Jacob Piggy gets pennies as well. They also get a small handball scholarship, which is nothing compared to the active women's club scholarship. Maybe it'll buy a book. This is my way of saying, if I could pay for your college education, I would. But again, I just really am proud of you for committing for so many years. So students afterwards, please don't forget to take your seat at the stool so that everyone can put your pennies in your bank. I tried to catch up the ones from last year too, so that's why the seniors are up there too, okay? There's no way I'm letting you leave without a piggy bank. No. Because that brings us to my seniors. This is a pretty amazing, oh, sorry, I forgot a group. The 5th, 6th year group. That was where the piggy bank starts. So we're so sorry. We have Mr. Dylan Anderson. And Ashley Hinkle. guys doing okay? Am I going too fast? Okay. So this group above you here is pretty amazing. I forget the nickname I gave them when they were really young. It was something like Fantastic Five. Is that right? So that year, there was only 5 6th graders that signed up for handball, and my heart was so sad. Just like, what am I going to do with 5 players? The future of the program is looking pretty bleak. The only group in history that the same group that started is the same group that's graduating. That is amazing, you guys. Thank you. So you kept the program alive, and I thank you with all my heart that you didn't quit when you could have. So the tradition is, someone gave me my first Build-A-Bear that we bring to where we travel. So whenever we go on trips or play somewhere, we bring Brooke and Brock over there. So then, now the seniors are going off to college, perhaps, so they're going to get their Build-A-Bear. So I thought it was kind of cute this year, because the whole mask thing, COVID, let's put a positive twist on it. So we've got our Incredible 5 with their little mask in a good way. But if you don't like that clothes, I did give them an alternate outfit, thanks to the Flores family. When I call you up, I'd like you to come down so you can tell the audience where your plans are. I always name your bear for you, but you can change the name. So this year I named them after names that have to do with the word incredible. So Amanda, grab your little friends ready to go to college. I get so excited when they send me a photograph in their new dorm room with the bear in their bed. I named her Amandita, but I also gave her a secondary name, Ameria, because Amandita means the desire to succeed, unstoppable, confident in their abilities. They know they have what it takes to make great things happen, regardless of how many challenges stand in their way, which is so you, and you should have a bear who also represents that. And her secondary name, I couldn't decide. It says, born with a great American, born with a great sense of responsibility and care for your family. They're both you. So come on down, tell us where you're heading off to.
Alright, so this fall I will be going to Brigham Young University and study media arts.
So Mr. Gus Balcom, grab your bear. Aren't you excited to get your bear after all these years? He has a formal outfit too. He doesn't have to always be the Incredible Bear. I brought his formal. He can dress up like the fabulous, what do you call it? Friday school dress thing? Dress your best. He was ready to go. So I named him Jeffra, which means one who is spiritually calm and has great power. That is so you. You are the calmest person I know in the group.
So this fall, I'll be enrolling in College of Families, community college, going for a degree in economics.
You're free on Friday from 3 to 4. Please continue to play. We need your help. I'll pay for the gas. Nicholas Costin. If I knew you were a lifeguard, I would have got your bear a little lifeguard outfit. I named him after your namesake, Nikolai, which means the great champion of our nation.
This fall, I'll be attending UC Santa Barbara to study accounting and finance.
Emily Goldner. I kind of made a mixture of your name and my mom's name, because you know my mom died during right before COVID, so I want to keep her name alive too. So I named her Emma Lynn. My mom's name was Emmeline, your name is Emily. It's kind of a mixture of all these names. And it means great strength mixed with hard work.
Hello. This fall I'll be starting at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and I'll be doing online for the first semester, so I can come back and play. And then I'll be starting in IRL school in January, and I'm going to be majoring in elementary education, and I'm hoping to be able to transfer to University of Wisconsin-Madison eventually.
And last but not least here, Jacob Van Orna. I named your bear, actually I tried to name it after your first initial too. So I noticed everybody's bear starts with the same initial. So the one word that I could find with a J was Jabbar, which means one who has great power and might. I kind of wanted to add, and great hair. I can't tease you about that enough. Come on down, Jacob, and you're no longer building our house. And Abe's ready to fly.
I'll be going to SCU this fall to study aviation sciences, and I'll also be taking flight school through them to become a commercial pilot.
All right.
Seniors, Mr. Carlo has a gift for you as well, a certificate. Come on up. I forget your last name, Carlo.
Basile.
Basile.
Can Brian come up also? Because
Great, yes. I'm going to be right after that. Perfect. Seniors, come on up. We have another special certificate.
My name is Carl Basile. I'm a field rep for Assemblyman Tom Lackey. Tom Lackey has a special place for the school. His kids came here. But he also has got a great thing for education. When he heard that you had 5 kids who had been in this program for 6 years, he made sure that 7 years, wow, he made sure that I came, because he wanted to recognize each and every one of you. You've done great work. I didn't realize that you are the same 5 that started, but what a wonderful. Thank you. Here, let me get. One, congratulations, man. Emily?
Right, I think you have it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then we have one of those really unusual students that have kind of carried on the legacy well beyond their high school years. A dear fellow leader within the group, I was grown immensely proud of this young man and what he represents. Mr. Braden Flores, I'd like you to come up. Two things. The first one is like the traditional. You get like the engraved bell that says, Director Braden Flores, forever amen, with your polished rag and gloves. That's a traditional one. But now I'm going to do something I hope I don't regret, because I've never done it before. But I know you. And I know it means so much to you that I think I can do it. Because you're just that special to me, okay? So, I don't know if I can do it. I've never done it before. So there is this bell in our room that's been retired. is D3, the big bell. It's super expensive. This one right here. Many years ago, this is the replacement for D3. Many years ago, it got cracked, as we all are cracked, and yet it's still beautiful and still playing. And for years, ever since he spotted this bell on the shelf, he always takes the time to polish it when we clean after practice. He's like, he loves this bell so much. His name is Duke, and he's been retired and hasn't played for many, many years. I have never given away one of my bells, Reagan. Never. It feels like I'm giving away one of my children. But nobody loves this bell like you do. I want you to have Duke. So, I'm really excited. It's all polished and shiny for you. Can I visit him?
I just want to say about the last group that came up. The year I decided to start, going back and helping out a group was actually their group, and I followed them throughout their years and through their groups, and I just want to say it's been so amazing for me personally to watch how much they've grown and how much their individual skill has progressed far past anything I've been able to do, and how they could play an entire song with not even the entire front hook. It was just so amazing.
I forgot about that. He was the helper of that group when they started in 6th grade. I forgot about that. You have followed them all the way up. Well, we're going to finish up with 3 songs. The Monday group, my beginning group, is going to come set up for their song called Walking in the Air. Oh, did you?
Yeah, don't forget. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Brad.
I was going to wait till the end.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So my name is Brandon Rocan, field representative for Senator Scott Wilk, and I'm actually really looking forward to singing this song. I'm going to be a man of a few words and just say, can I get the graduating seniors to come back up again? Sorry guys, you guys should be a little loud really quick. It's amazing to be here. As they mentioned earlier, I went through that test. I graduated from this district. Seeing what Mr. Rollins done with the handbells, seeing these students the way they play, you guys are absolutely amazing. I can honestly say I'm extremely tone deaf. So there's no way I can stand it for let alone being able to take a shot at a song you guys have never played, never seen. That was amazing. So on behalf of Senator Wilk, I'm honored to present you guys with certificates of recognition to say congratulations. Thank you for your dedication to handbells. Thank you for following Mr. Rowland, and thank you for bringing beautiful music back to our culture.
Yeah. All right.
Sixth graders, come on up, please. One of the hardest things about handballs is the holes. So we deal with them in practice all the time. It's really hard to deal with it in a performance. So this is where the older students step up to the plate and they start just like you just saw them do. And they sometimes have to do it under really bad situations. This is not a bad situation because you're all friends and family. So they're going to be fine. Do you need a sip? Do you need a sip? You need one? I think I appreciate it, but I think I have it in my mind already, but I'd like to thank you, okay? Appreciate it. See what I mean? Jumping up here and offering to help me. That's so sweet. But I'd already in my head decided who I was going to ask. So I knew that one student would be on, absent. So Leilani, I need you to step up to the plate and fix it for me. Leilani Bronze, come on up. And Steven, you drove all the way out here. You're going to stand on my right hand side and play with me again. Joaquin, where are you? You would have been my number one choice had he not been driving all the way from college. So let me talk you through this, folks. Because poor Steve, this is the other Steven. He's probably all nervous because he's all rehearsed. He knows exactly what he needs to do with the person next to him, and now that person isn't here. I gave you the most responsible person that's going to be able to read you, okay? So at the beginning, Leilani and Steven, we added a new introduction. So you're going to use your singing stick, and you're going to start the chord with me, I believe. I'm going to nod to Steven, okay? When he lifts his bells, you're going to lift them too. You're going to go really slowly. He's going to make eye contact with you. He's going to lift his bell, and he's going to go G, G, F, F. Can you do that? Do that once. It's not in the music. Just do it with your hand. G, G, F. And then she's going to finish the phrase. He's going to drop his bell. He's going to pick up the wind chime. Do it. And then he's going to look at you again. You're going to do it twice. G, F, F. And you're going to pick up the wind again. You're going to go like this again. And now we're going to read the music. Okay? Super easy song. Those are your favorite bells. We're going to do it with the lights on. Okay? Yes. Be fun. So don't play until I stay ready to do that. It's all left by me. You have no idea what it means to have this guy here today. I get to have dinner at the, because of him, I get to have dinner every Thursday night at the college. I feel like I'm back in college again. And the whole world has changed for me on Thursday nights, the way they at the college treat me. And on the way home from being Mr. Roland all day, I'm now called Prof. I mean, little old me is called, hey Prof, how you doing today? It's like it just brightens my day that they think that they can call me Prof when I'm just stupid Mr. O. I love it. Excellent. Here we go. You guys ready? I'll count it out loud, you guys. Don't worry. Come on. To be able to play without me counting it. Usually music goes through phases where you kind of count it, then they hear my voice in their head, then we take away my voice and they play without me. And we just tried it last week and I said, just see where you are. And they actually could do it without my counting. So we're going to give it a try. If they could do it at practice, I bet they can do it here. Right? It's a famous classical music song that a lot of you might recognize. Let's try it again. Another huge problem, if you got the wrong bell for the whole song, it will just have to deal with that trauma. Trauma of the wrong bell. That more to your liking? Okay. She played a wrong note too. It'll be a good start. So let's start it over. Let's try it again. Up. 1, 2, 3. What happened? What was that? Oh, you were doing so great. 64. Thought you were going to make it. 64. 1, 2, ready, play. 2/21. This is the letter they got as they walked out of practice. Because I couldn't talk to them face to face. I'm better at words when it comes to things like this. So as they left practice, they were each given this envelope. And then they had to go perform at Belfast the very next weekend at Masters University. But you guys, remember this letter? It says, "Dear handball adopted sons and daughters, please forgive me for taking the written approach to communicate with you, but I fear my spoken words would not be able to adequately express the intentions of my heart. First, I'm incredibly proud of each one of you. Months ago, when you each agreed to begin the music memorization process without even being selected to perform at the Music Center on Christmas Eve, was inspirational." So they had new leadership this year, folks, and we didn't know if we were going to get a yes or no. So they agreed that it would be better to start the memorization process early in case we get a yes, not wait till the last minute and then cram. Furthermore, you conquered this beast of a piece of music. I had no idea it was going to be so challenging to play and memorize. Honestly, it looked a bit tame on paper, but wow, you each rose to the challenge without complaint. Then we were asked to memorize a second piece. When we did get confirmation that we were selected to play, this would have been our 15th year, I believe, they wanted more music from us. So we had to add a second one to our repertoire, memorize. And not one of you hesitated for one moment. Again, one of those truly proud moments to be your teacher. It's a genuine honor to share music alongside each one of you. In rehearsal, you often hear me describe the sound waves created by the low bells as warm ocean waves of sound crashing on the beach. A sound only the low bells can produce that resonates to my core. They all know what I'm talking about. I always go off on these spiels about the sound waves. I often close my eyes while we play, and I can physically feel the warmth of the sound that the bass bells create together. It's this indescribable beauty. These last few days, I've been in a maelstrom, a fierce, wicked, and turbulent storm of waves. Waves that suffocate me and surround me with chaos and force me to make decisions that I don't feel adequate to make. That I feel inadequate to make. A completely different kind of ocean than the one I cherish in our handball practice room. The Music Center has been in contact with me regarding the new Los Angeles County health and safety mandates. Since the Music Center is a Los Angeles County institution, they are required to follow all guidelines implemented by the county health department. They have informed me these past couple of days that all participants in the holiday celebration concert must be fully vaccinated in order to participate. Had I known this was going to be a requirement, I would have given students and their families the option to either opt in or opt out of this particular performance. We started this journey together, and we will find peace with this outcome together. After much thrashing in the waves of my metaphorical maelstrom, I finally made the decision that I felt was best for my handbell family. I informed the Music Center that they would need to remove our group from the program. And sadly, they never responded to my email. And it really kind of bothered me that I anguished over the decision, and they didn't even offer any kind of apology for putting us in this position. And our decision probably ruined our chances of ever playing there again, I fear, but I'll leave that in God's hands. Harmonic Bronze is a team. We are a family. We are a caring and cohesive unit. I will not allow forced vaccinations to be a divisive factor for our group. That contradicts everything that we stand for. I have no knowledge as to which of you are vaccinated and which of you are not, nor should I. It is none of my business. I support you and your family's decision without hesitation. There is no performance prestigious enough to force me to divide my handball family into those who can play and those who cannot. Period. I ask you not to be angry, sad, or frustrated with me and the decision forced upon me, and yet I still have more I need to ask of you. As your teacher all these years, I've tried to model for you the importance of individual character. You have often heard me speak that a person who works only for the money, a student who studies only for the grade, and a musician who rehearses only for a performance doesn't really understand the bigger picture of life. Life is filled with defining moments that test our character and challenge our capabilities. In 6th grade, I introduced you to that allegorical map that you might recall. Mount Perseverance was always my favorite location on the map. Do you remember how I explained that individuals willing to brave enough to climb Mount Perseverance understand that they'll never reach the summit? There will always be a new challenge to overcome, and we must not grow weary from putting forth our very best effort in all that we do. Once again, I recognize that I am on the familiar path of Mount Perseverance right now, and I can choose to continue onward and upward, or I can simply give up and quit. I gave my word to my team, my Handbell family, that I would memorize 2 songs. I have unfinished business that I need to complete. According to my rehearsal calendar, I'm scheduled to be at High Desert School Sunday morning, November 14th, from 7 to 8:15 a.m. My Handbell family was expecting me to have both songs fully memorized by that date, and I will not let them down. I will be there on Sunday. I will have my music memorized. I don't care about the dress rehearsal. I don't care about the Christmas Eve performance. I do care about my commitment and my personal integrity, and I care about you. I gave you my word that I would fulfill this responsibility, and I will do so joyfully and diligently. I don't mind being the only person in the practice room on Sunday, but it would help me find the peace I'm looking for to have you join me, ready to rehearse, fulfilling our commitment together, regardless of the variables that we can't control. You know, audience, this is one of those defining moments of the group. I bet you can predict how many people showed up on Sunday morning, because the room was filled. And it was probably the most meaningful rehearsal we ever had as a group over this course of 7 years that many of us have been together. We will always remember the time that we chose to come to practice out of joy rather than anger. So you guys, I really thank you for that day, that Sunday morning rehearsal. And I needed that. We never looked at the song ever again after that practice, when we performed it at Masters. But I asked them for one last gift. I said, no other group has brought back a song they memorized because it is so hard to memorize handbell music. It is like ridiculously hard. We walk around with wooden spoons everywhere we go. We practice with these in our car, in between class, wherever we can practice to kind of get it in our head. It doesn't stick very well. So I asked them in the last 4 weeks, would they be willing to try to bring it back? And there were a lot of students who felt like they could bring it back. So I kind of left it in their ballpark and told them there's no judgment here. If you want to play it memorized, play it memorized. If you don't, don't. Now Carl obviously is not having memorized. He wasn't here in the crowd, so Carl did not feel like he's the one beating himself up the most. Why didn't I take the music home and memorize it last night? But with your permission, to close our concert, we're going to play it twice. We're going to refresh our memory, and everyone's going to use music, because it's been a week. And then those of you who want to try it one more time without music, it would be an awesome way to end your year. So thank you for going back in time with me.
Forgetting my bells. That's why you're the Compass Award. You do things without even asking. Respectfully. Read my mind. You guys ready? Well, have fun. Do you want me to count it or not count it? No counting? Let's see how you do. Up. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and ready, play. Piggyback people, don't forget to take your seat. We'll clean up. Handball younger players, make sure you go fill their banks up. Thank you all so much for sharing this night with us. It's been a long, sad 3 years, 2 years, whatever it's been. So nice to be able to play. So thank you for staying. Enjoy it.